Hello, friends. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Serenity series, a show where we together explore our mind in order to enhance our life. This week, or this time rather, we will be talking about core beliefs. What is it? How are they formed? Well, let's allow Payal to take it away. Payal.
Thanks, Eva. So, core beliefs is really the core of everything. And it's a very, very vast topic. It's difficult to concise, put a concise notion to it in such a limited period of time, but I'll try my best. I'm going to touch on very, very key points, not even the tip of the iceberg, really, because this is really the reason that we are where we are in our life, and things are happening to us the way they are, and these beliefs are deeply entrenched within us. So, what is a
Mm,
belief? Let's start with what is a belief. A belief is a
mm,
thought or an idea. Now, when we have a lot of thoughts and ideas, they come and they go and
mm,
they don't really affect us. But when I attach an emotion to that thought or that idea, that becomes a belief. And when I have a very, very strong emotion or connection to that thought or idea, it becomes conviction. And I'm completely convinced that that is the only way that things can be for me. So some
mm,
conviction is excellent because if I have positive belief systems, the conviction that yes, I can do this and I'm worthy of it and life is beautiful and I'm successful and I'm abundant. But on the other
mhm,
hand, we have a lot of emotionally charged beliefs which don't serve us at all. Okay. So it's about feeling, it's a simple situation. Supposing I've been invited for an office party and I go
mm,
there in casual clothes. And when I land there, and I'm fine when I'm getting ready, I'm really happy. I'm like, oh, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I feel great. I'll go to the party and I land up and I see everybody in business suits and I'm wearing something casual. So this whole set of emotions will take over me. The emotions of maybe I'm such an idiot. So that would be I'm feeling worthless, I'm stupid. I must have misread the invitation, the feeling of, again, stupidness or lack of worthiness. Maybe everybody is staring at me here, the feeling of being judged. I could go
yeah.
back home and change. Should I go back home and change? Self doubt, thinking, second guessing about myself, and the insecurity about my decision. This is going to be looking bad in my boss's eyes. The feeling of insecurity. Oh, I'm never going to get my raise. The feeling of doubt and hopelessness. Did you just see the gamut of emotions that just happened from something? So
Mm,
all of these judgments lie within us all the time, and they come from emotions. The emotions support the belief. So the belief,
mm,
the emotion attached to the belief causes me to have a limited experience of my life about myself. Okay, so it is very simple. Comes basically down to I can't do this. This always happens to me, or this never happens for me. Three very basic ones. If we go further, it's about I can't do this because I don't deserve that because if I do something bad, if I do something, something bad is going to happen.
mm,
What will people think of me? That's the biggest one, right? What will people think of me? So I don't end up what is people's perception of me? And of course, the most common one, I'm not good enough and I don't deserve that. Those are very, very strong beliefs that we hold. So where do these beliefs come from? They come from childhood. They come from our experiences. From the age of up to 7 years old is when we really create all our beliefs. So these
wow.
beliefs come from, yes, they come from our family. They come from significant people in our lives at that time. They come from a constant reaffirming of everything that is negative, like maybe you're not good enough, you don't know how to do this. They can come from traumatic experiences. And then once we've experienced that negative belief, it just stays with us. It's
Yeah.
just with us. Such an intrinsic part of us that it is us. Somewhere we've forgotten who we truly are or what we even want to believe, what we would like to believe for ourselves. Okay. So the powerful component really that we need to consider when changing a belief is that we need to change the corresponding emotion. The emotion is what is holding and giving that electrical charge and making us feel out of control of ourselves, of the situation, of all the cyclical thoughts that go on and they go on continuing to affect us in a negative way. So the strength of the emotion that is connected to the belief, how strong that emotion is for me, it will make the belief an easy belief for me or a difficult belief for me. So a difficult belief for me, of course, would be something that I'm not worthy of this and I can never change this. An easy belief is something where it's not that important to me, so I'm not put so much of an emotion attached to it. So it's like saying, when I need to, like say I've slipped up on something. The minute I've slipped up on something, what am I going to do? I'm going to self-judge. I'm going to look down on my life, and I'm going to say I'm terrible, I messed up, I never do anything right. Everything I do turns wrong. And I've created that one small slip up into my whole identity. That becomes who I am. That becomes my true reality. For me, in my perception of myself, that becomes my true reality. And I'm generating more emotions of self-rejection from that. And I'm continuously judging myself and going longer and going deeper and going stronger and creating and recreating and reiterating to myself that, yes, I am unworthy. So this whole false identity that I've created becomes a part of my memory, becomes a part of my emotional baggage, becomes a part of my belief. So when I need to release, and when I'm working with beliefs, I have to also work with the emotion, the memory of the emotion that I have stored with that, because that is what is triggering things for me. So the key change to something like this would possibly be like, the bonds of faith that I have with that belief. So if we take something and we glue it together, like say Fevicol or whatever, super glue, anything, whatever you want to take, and we glue it together, and then we realize that this isn't working for me, or I didn't want to glue this together with this. So if I realize it soon enough, I'm able to unglue it. I'm able to separate the two, exactly as the same with a belief and an emotion. Now, if I've used super glue, it's not that I can't remove it. There are ways and means of doing it, but it's going to take a little bit more effort. It's going to take a little bit more resilience. It's going to take a little bit more determination. It's going to take a lot more trying, right? It's going to take a lot more effort to do it. It's not impossible, but it take more effort to do it. Exactly the same. So when I'm trying to pry it away, I'm trying to pry the emotion away from the belief. And it's a very intrinsic and a very strong belief in my system. It's not that it won't move. It will, but it will take continuous resilience on your part to make that happen. Okay. So I want to come now to how. What is it that I do? So the question over here is to ask yourself is, does this belief have to be true for me? So I'm going to share a lot of questions today, because today's tools and the modality will really be asking yourself this question. It's a process of self-inquiry. It's a process of really sitting with yourself and understanding that somewhere the beliefs that we put and the illusion of those beliefs, the strength that we give those beliefs, and actually when it's actually just an illusion, that belief doesn't even need to be there because it's not serving you in any way. So some of the questions I will share over here, but also feel free to email me on healwithpayal@gmail.com to receive a full questionnaire. It's a very comprehensive questionnaire for you to have that introspection, that self-understanding, self-awareness of where the beliefs are coming from. And when you answer so many of those questions, you will actually get the answers for yourself to a large extent. You will be able to just see there is no truth in your belief system. There is no truth in what you're holding on to. There's no truth in the reality that you're perceiving and creating for yourself based on those limited beliefs of who you are. Because at a heart level, at an energy level, at a soul level, at our true level, we are here to succeed. We are here to be happy. We are here to be fulfilled. We are here to enjoy our lives. We are here to learn more, explore more. So when I have this limited belief, what is this limited belief doing to me? It's projecting to me and protecting me from some pain. So some pain that I feel that I need to be protected from. So say example of a great example would be procrastination. So I really want to do something, but I'm just not getting myself to do it. I'm just continuing to dilly-dally, so what is the reason behind that? So somewhere in my heart, I want to do something. I want to set my goal. I want to try something new. I want to live my dream. But this fear has come into my mind, this belief that, no, you can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. It's very difficult, very challenging. Times are tough. Everybody is doing it. That's the first. Where is that belief coming from? The emotion that I am not going to be able to do it because I'm not good enough. And it's better that I just procrastinate rather than face failure in case I don't go ahead. So what is the mind doing? It's protecting me, right? So that belief is actually protecting me. It thinks it's protecting me. So we could look at a belief as a very, very dear friend who's just not very good with advice. So if I look at it's a very dear friend to me because it's trying to protect me, right? And friends have great intentions for us, but some of them just give you the wildest advice and you're thinking, really? I mean, I don't think that's going to really work for me. So we just look at the belief from a humor perspective rather than take it so seriously. And look at it and just view it for what it is, understand it for what it is, and understand that it doesn't need to be there because it's just not serving me. It's not empowering me. It's not helping me. It's not supporting me. In fact, it's stopping me. And nothing is stopping me but myself or my belief in the truth of that belief, right? So I'm thinking that belief is true, and so I'm accepting it for myself. So what is a good way, like to ask yourself the question, does it have to be true? Does this belief have to be true for me? Or who would I be without this thought? Who would I be? Because I'm always associated with this thought. So what could I be if I didn't have this limiting belief with me? And write that down for yourself. And if I didn't have this belief is one. And the second part to that question would be is, what thought would help me instead? What belief would help me instead? So this will help me have an outcome when I'm thinking of that process. The other way of what to do is create a story that empowers you to achieve the things that matter to you, even if you feel like you don't have what it takes. So I am visualizing myself, say I want to start a new business. In a time like this, people are thinking of alternate means of income. So I want to start a new business. So what is it going to take for me to start that business? So I'm going to need maybe, courage, determination, a new perspective. But I'm also going to be facing fear at the same time, fear of uncertainty. That is the biggest thing that we hold. We always like to know everything that makes us feel safe and secure. But uncertainty really shakes us off, right? And that's exactly what so many of us are going through. So what if I use that fear and I actually work with fear as my friend rather than fear as my foe? So I use fear as my friend, and I recognize the fear for what it is, and I say, what is it that I can grow from? What is it that I can get from? What is it that I can use this fear to develop something within me? So I look at fear as an opportunity rather than a block, rather than an obstacle. Okay. So there are common core beliefs that we have with associating emotions. So I'll just run through a few of them, so it will be easier for you to recognize your belief patterns that always happen within you. Yeah. So the first one would be abandonment. Nobody loves me. So the belief is nobody loves me. The emotion is abandonment. So what is it that I can say in form of an affirmation? I am worthy of love. I deserve love. I am full of love. People love me. Everything that I feel that I'm lacking within me can be an affirmation for me. So I just want to introduce a little bit about what an affirmation is, a very, very like a one sentence. An affirmation is something that I'm reinforcing a positive statement about myself. That is an affirmation. So when I start to reinforce after a long period of time, I start to believe that, I start to imprint that into my truth, into my subconscious mind, into believing that that is the truth for me and wanting that truth for me and seeking that truth for me, and it starts to become truth for me. So
could I just add, Pi?
Yeah.
That's, as you were saying, you were describing what an affirmation is. It just struck me that actually, the stories that we tell ourselves, the limiting belief, that's also some sort of an affirmation, isn't it? But it's a negative affirmation. So why not we twist it around a positive, affirmation where we tell ourselves positive things, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's how it works. So when I'm constantly being in that moment of reminding myself about the positive belief or the positive affirmation, you can start with an affirmation and become a belief. So affirmation could be the first step towards making it into the belief system. Then I'm actually accepting and I'm transforming, I'm changing, I'm being aware of that negative thought coming back, and I'm reaffirming at that point that fear is my friend. what do I need to learn from this? Because everything is stemming from fear and insecurity. Everything is stemming from I'm not good enough. Everything, and all of those things come down to fear. It just comes down to fear. Okay. So if I'm constantly using fear as my friend, that can be my motto. Fear is my friend. So if I'm feeling fear in that moment, I just have to look at me and say, look within and say, it's a friend that's come to show me something. It's a friend that's come to teach me something. It's a friend that's coming to push me towards what I really need to face. Because when I face that, I'm going to be enabling myself to reach forward towards whatever my goal is for myself, be it a career goal, and a relationship goal, an emotional goal, anything, whatever goal that you're setting for yourself. And sometimes it couldn't even be a goal. It could just be being comfortable with yourself as a goal, right?
Right. And how do you identify fear? Would you say anxiety is, a form of fear that has manifested?
So all these things that I'm telling you about now are just aspects of fear. So exactly what it is: abandonment, arrogance, damaged, inferiority, rejection, shame. All of these are different forms of fear. So
How do I recognize it? So when
yeah, so I'll just give you the statements. I'll give you the emotion, and I'll give you the belief associated with that emotion. So you'll know that if I have any of these things, these are the main ones. So these are the ones which really stand out for us. There are so many others. Each of us has our own belief system. So there isn't a generalized, you'll have to really work on what your belief system is for you. But overall, an umbrella would really be these ones that which I'm sharing. So we talked about abandonment, where I'm saying that I'm not worthy of love, and no one loves me. So the affirmation could be I am worthy of love. Then we have arrogance. Arrogance is I know everything. That's actually stemming from deep insecurity that somebody has when they are very arrogant. It's actually trying to cover up a very deep insecurity. So when you say that I'm better than all of us is the belief, the affirmation can be I can learn from all those around me. Then damaged. I'm a failure. Something is wrong with me. So that I am a failure, something is wrong with me is the belief. The emotion is I am damaged. I feel damaged. So the affirmation for that could be I am whole and complete just as I am. I am whole and complete just as I am. So accepting something like that, recognizing that that is a possibility in itself is work. Recognizing that is a possibility in itself is hope and transformation. Then we have another one, which is inferiority. I'm not good enough. I'm worthless. I'm stupid. That's also something that comes up very, very commonly for all of us. The affirmation for that could be I'm a good and a valuable person, and I make a valuable contribution to the world. I make a valuable contribution to myself. Let's start with that. So at the root of all of these core challenges is, I would just say it's like a lack of acceptance and a deep feeling of being disconnected from ourselves. So that could be an affirmation in itself, right? That I choose to deepen my experience and my acceptance and my connection to myself. So I really choose to connect to myself again. I choose to accept myself again. I choose to experience who I am again. And that could be an affirmation for you as well. The other emotion that we feel very often is rejection. So rejection is, again, I'm a burden and I'm unwanted. And sometimes rejection not only comes from other people, it also comes from rejecting yourself first, without other people having rejected you. So at a very deep level, you have rejection within you, rejection of everything that you are. So I am an interesting person. I am a lover. The affirmation would be I'm an interesting person. I am a lovable person. And people enjoy getting to know me. People want to be around me. People do like me. These are affirmations that I can create. So these are just examples, Eva. I mean, everybody can come up with their own understanding of what the belief is, the emotion that they are feeling, and an affirmation for themselves, because you know yourself best. These are just little guidelines of how you can do that, and some of the key factors that you can recognize a limiting belief. If I have any of these things, shame is another one. That I'm a mistake. I look down on myself. The affirmation could be that I'm gentle with myself and I respect myself. So it's like setting a set of life intentions for you when we're doing this process of goals and of core beliefs. It's like setting a life of intentions for you. Like, this is my guide for my life, how I would like to be, the beliefs that I would like to have. So this is going to take work. This isn't easy. This isn't the other modalities that I've shared so far have been easier. This is going to take time. It is going to take effort. It is going to take a lot of self introspection. It can bring about a lot of uncomfortable emotions when you do this, but please trust me when I say that it will really be worth that time that you take out now, because the 2 hours or the 1 hour that you will spend on just reflecting where you are at will just be the most magnificent change in your life, when you are able to accept that these beliefs are nothing but our perception of a perceived reality which hasn't even happened. That is truly what we are doing with a belief. We are projecting something into the future as well, thinking that we are not going to be able to do it, when it is all just an illusion. It's just a simple switch in my mind. So I use the word simple. It takes time and it takes work, but when you see that eureka moment for yourself, it is simple, and you're thinking to myself, oh my god, I was the only one limiting myself from what I really truly wanted to achieve out there, for everything that I can achieve out there. Okay, so come to the hidden like the hidden narrative of what I've been hiding from myself, because that's it's only you and you. There's only you and you, and that paper in front of you is you talking to you. So look at it that way. Look at it as, there is nobody here to judge me. I am here. I can be there with my vulnerabilities. I can be there with my insecurities. I can be there with my limiting belief systems. And there is nobody to judge me. And I don't want to judge myself anymore. I'm tired of judging myself anymore, because I'm just going round in circles. I'm not finding the way out, right? I'm just constantly banging on that closed door. I'm not choosing to look at the number of windows that are open. If I look at the windows that are open, I'm able to turn around and look at a new scene outside the window. But I'm not choosing to do that. I'm choosing to just look at the block in front of me. So
Yeah.
if I'm really looking at my belief system that way, I'm able to recognize what it is, where it's coming from, and I'm trying to, beliefs basically try to protect us from being hurt. Like, it's this system that we have in place, which is like, I must protect myself from this imagined future that is never going
Mm.
to work out for me. So it's like an alarm system to protect us from painful scenarios, from
Mm.
imagined emotional pain. That is what a
Mm.
belief's role is, to protect us from imagined emotional pain. So I'm
Mm.
imagining in this scenario moving forward in my life that this pain is going to happen to me. I've already decided that this pain is going to happen to me. So all I'm doing is I'm reinforcing the role of why the belief is there. The belief is there because it's there to protect me. So when
Mm.
I've said this, then I'm just creating another pathway for the belief to reinforce again.
Say, that would be the first thing to do, Payal. Sit with them, reflect,
Absolutely.
make a note of where it is coming from. Is it true? That's what you said, right? Is it
Yeah.
true? And all the points that she's shared just now, just start doing that and report back how it's working out for you, and reach out to Payal with her for the questionnaire.